Hola, amiga. Welcome to the Latina Leadership Podcast, a podcast by Latinas for all women. Get ready because today's conversation is really special.
Hola, and welcome to another episode of the Latina Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Angelica Casares, and on today's episode, we have
Linda Macias, City Commissioner of Brownsville, Texas, representing District 2.
Thank you so much for inviting us out here. Thank you so much for giving us the space to be able to have a conversation with you. We absolutely love the area, and the fact that you guys were so willing to invite us and welcome us into the space. Muchas gracias. Okay, tell me a little bit about the district you're representing.
Absolutely. So I represent District 2. I was elected May 2023, and in District 2, I represent 45,000 residents.
Wow.
And so it's about 11 different precincts, and every precinct is unique within its problems. And I think if anybody ever wants to be an elected official, one of the most important things is to ensure that we're listening, to ensure that we're having that one-on-one, that we're interviewing our constituents, not only so we can get to know them, but as well so constituents can know their representation. And it's important to hear out and have that ground on ground, block walking, talking to individuals so you know what is important to them and to know what issues are in their area, because nobody's going to know more of their community than the person that lives there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm like, I really wanted to represent, so I think that I had 2,000 conversations throughout the campaign.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah. And then,
you were doing a lot of canvassing.
yes, we
Jesus.
did. And it was amazing. So I got to learn every problem. And when I got elected, I went ahead and I already knew this is a plan in place. So we worked a lot with our directors. The city of Brownsville has about 21 different departments. And then, they have their fire and police. So I really got to work with so many directors, so many individuals to ensure that we're working towards solutions.
No, well, thank you. It's amazing to see a lot of Latinas as taking the initiative to actually run for office. What made you run for office?
So it's kind of a long story.
I got time.
Okay, good. Okay, so my mother was 16 years old when she had me. She was a teen pregnancy. And so I really understood, and because she didn't have the family and financial support, I really got to understand the struggles that single motherhood takes, poverty. It's also a traumatic experience to some cases. I didn't even know that. I was like, okay, this is just an experience that we had. And so that made me very driven. I went on to college, but we were also very empathetic, and my mom, my brother, and I were individuals that believe in kindness and always helping people, because we understand suffrage and we truly believe that you don't have to be an Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk. Like, let's just have kindness towards one another, and that alleviates suffrage. And sometimes those small moments of kindness can really make an impact. And so I got my bachelor's in criminal justice. I got my master's in counseling. I was a school counselor for 10 years. And I really felt in the midst of the middle of my career, within 5 years, I was like, okay, this is good. Like, I think this is going to be my life for the next 30 years. I had just purchased a home.
You had a trajectory.
I had purchased my home. We're hosting holidays in my house. I have my husband. Like, this is my life for the next 30 years. I'm going to be a school counselor. I'm going to retire, and this is it. But COVID ends up happening, and my mom at that time is about 47 years old, and it's unfortunate, and she ended up passing away from COVID. So as a counselor, grief is something that's very hard, and it's one of the worst things that any individual can go through. You can always solve things, right? Any problems that you may have, okay, we can try to find a way to navigate this. But how do you navigate death? And so in that navigation, I really had to look at my life, because death puts life into perspective. So I gave myself 2 weeks to really grieve. Like, I didn't go to work, I didn't do anything for 2 weeks. I stayed at home, and I really had to process what this meant for me. And a lot of the times, grief is the loss of an expected future. So I expected my mom to be there all the time. I envisioned having my mom in a wheelchair and taking her to Luby's and going to go seek out that senior citizen discount. That was really the type of future that I had for myself. And God had other plans. So we, after her passing, really put things into perspective, and I say, okay, how is my future going to look like now? And so what I started to do, I said, you know what? I didn't want my mom's passing to just stay there, and that she went through all of this and then that's it. No, her life continues within my heart, and I want to keep her memory alive by the help and the kindness that the kindful person that she was. So I went ahead and started helping people. So I started doing food drives. I started getting really involved in the campuses. We would get our campuses involved to help out nonprofit organizations. And I remember this one time, I'm kind of going off on this.
Go for it, go for it. Because I'm following.
Okay. Yeah. So I just ended up getting very involved in the community. And I had a friend, term limits went to effect as a city commissioner. So as a city commissioner, I can only run 2 terms. And that's 4 years each. And term limits go into effect, and I had a friend that called me. And by this time, I have she was about 5-month-old daughter, and then I had a 3-year-old daughter.
Okay.
So young mom, and I had this friend, she called me, she's like, hey, you need to run for office. And I was like, no, I already proved to myself that you don't need titles or positions to get things done. As long as you get the right people in place and you have the energy and you're positive, like you can really bring people together and solve issues. So she was like, okay, well, what type of representation do you want for you? And I said, you know what? I want someone who's energetic. I want someone who's going to put ego and pride aside. Someone who has the gift of bringing people to a round table and saying like, hey, let's all work together, you know? And she was like, do you believe that the individuals who are currently signed up, do you believe they represent that? And I was like, well, I don't know them, but from what I've heard, no. And then she said something very impactful, and she told me, what type of representation do you want for your daughters?
Yeah.
And I said, okay, here's the deal. I finished reading this book by Brene Brown, and it's called Dare to Lead.
Yeah.
And in the midst of that chapter, she talks about, as parents, we need to set that example to our children. Don't tell your children to do something. Do so you can be an example to your children. And so I really have to model, and role models start at home, examples start at home. So I said I need to exemplify everything that I want my daughters to be. I can't tell them be courageous and then I'm in the comfort of my couch. I can't tell them you go and be out there loud and get involved in advocacy, and meanwhile I'm just laying back. No, I have to set that example. And so that's kind of how I started getting into service, and you know, people just started coming in. So it was really, really a wonderful experience. Kind of one thing led me to the other, and I really feel like my guardian angel, my mother, is there to guide me. So
I have
it
to
was
tell
wonderful.
you this. I follow along because Jeff does put a lot of things into perspective. I lost my sister. She died from cancer. She did not reach the age of 40. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to live past the age of 30. I'm one of those girls. I'm from that neighborhood. Like I was an at-risk youth girl. I was like, you know, whatever. My mom was, and then my mom came from Mexico, didn't know the language. And as far as this is what I'll explain to you. I remember my mom telling me one time, you know, as a feminine, we have things that happen to our bodies. And I remember thinking, I thought I was dying the first time it happened to me. But anyway, when she started talking to me about it, she was like, oh, when I lived in the rancho, we used to wash them by hands. I was like, Mom, I go to school. You want me to wash where by hand? So I knew she didn't understand my situation or the perspective or the things that I was in, right? So as we lived life like that, my sister got sick. She got really sick. And she just couldn't. Anyway, when she passed away, she was bones. She was thin. She died from cancer, and it was a slow, harsh death for her. She suffered a lot, and she never had the opportunity to do more. And she was smart. She was so beyond wise her years, and she was smart. She didn't even get to reach the age. And so when death came to us way too close, I knew that I really, really, really could not continue doing what I was doing because I was seeking comfort. I wasn't looking for the discomfortable because I knew not everybody. Those who I knew are so quick to be comfortable because it's easy to not worry about what's happening, to not worry about that, not understanding that it's actually happening to you. It's whether you like it or not, it's happening to you. Whether you vote or not, it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you. And so I didn't want that to be what we did. I didn't want that to be the story that I told my son. He's graduating from the University of Oklahoma.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I wanted him, I couldn't, you're the same way, because again, I was following you. I didn't want to send the trajectory of like, you got to go for your dreams and do this and do that. And I'm like, look, kid, this is it. I have nothing to offer you. There is no legacy that I can leave you. What I can offer you is help you pay for the education. Let me pay for education, please. That's the living legacy I can leave you. And that's all I can offer. Hopefully I can do more and I can leave you something or something, anything. And so that's the necessary need that we needed to take. That's a stance that we need to really honestly take. There is nothing more that we can offer our children and our community but what we know. And how can we offer our community what we know and we stay inside the house? Mm-hmm. If we stay inside the house and we say, you know what, that's not my problem. You know what, it doesn't matter. Guess what? It's gonna happen to you. Mm-hmm. Whether you want to or whether you vote or not, it's going to happen to you.
Yes.
It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So participate.
Be a part of something.
Be a part of it. Be a part of it. Because right now, I mean, I feel like a huge target. And I don't want to feel like that. Mm-hmm. And whether I want to or not, I just am. Because of my surname. Because of, like, even now, like, I say Latina and it's like, and people take pause to it. And I'm like, oh God. On both ends of the aisle, everywhere. I'm like, this has to stop.
Yeah.
I really need to speak the truth. I need to speak myself, and so this is how we started doing it.
And you're paying homage to your sister as well.
Yes.
I'm so sorry that you went through that.
No,
and it really seems that impacted your life, and now it rejuvenated you. It's giving you the energy to keep on going because of nothing but love. And you're like, okay, my life, God is allowing me to be here. This is my life, and you know what? We're gonna do all that we can, and you're gonna do your part too.
Absolutely.
So I'm really glad that you're doing your part. I did want to comment a little bit. So you mentioned something that I liked a lot. You had said, you know what? Politics, like, people need to get involved, and it's true. So just to discuss a little bit about Brownsville,
absolutely.
We have 200,000 individuals living within our community, and we have 101,000 registered voters. Mm-hmm. So how many do you think of individuals, or how many voters vote during municipal election, meaning like the mayor, district commissioners?
So for my understanding, because I am
it's
very
just a
vested.
quiz. No,
I am very vested into this. Usually it's less than 15% of the population that votes on these municipal, like for the mayor, for your city council members. Less than 15% usually happen. Literally, people will win by like 100 votes.
So in Brownsville,
that's wild.
9,000 people come out and vote during the mayoral election. And out of 101,000 individuals that have the liberty of exercising their right to vote. And I will tell you that we're very grateful for those 9,000 people. And the way that my district works, it's only the individuals that live in that district can come out and vote for me. So in my district, about 2,400 people come out and vote. 2,500 people out of 45,000, you know. So it is sad, but I'm also very grateful. I like to focus on the positivity. And I've had people say, ay, yo no le hago a la política. No te preocupes, la política te hace a ti. Porque las personas que te representan escogen en Municipal, escogen las calles que se van a arreglar, escogen la área de drenaje que se va a arreglar. Ellos están escogiendo eso. Así que si tú no le das la política, está bien, te va a hacer a ti. So I think municipal elections are very important, and it's important across the board because as a city commissioner, and I will attribute a lot of my successes is partnerships and collaboration. So I work very well with Congressman Vicente Gonzalez. He has been truly helpful within my district. I would tell you that he did help us get a $33 million grant for the airport. The airport is in District 2, and we have made significant improvements within the airport, and we're planning on expanding and growing, and so we have given that airport a future.
Given a revitalization. I've seen the airport. It's pretty, but TLC, tender love and care.
And we're getting there, and we need to start somewhere, and so we have improved it. When I went in, there was no restaurant, there was nothing, there was kind of like an empty shell, and so going in, we ended up getting a restaurant, Calacas Tacos, amazing. If you guys ever want to stop by, you can park and eat there. You do not have to fly out. A second thing is, you know, upstairs we got Cactus Brew, and it's really delicious drinks that they have, their beverages, coffee, horchata coffee. So it's really nice. And then we also teamed up because something that we truly needed was a playground in there. We also needed a business lounge, and we were able to do
something while they're there.
Yes, kids, you know, they want to be running around. So we went ahead and did that without utilizing taxpayer money. We did this strictly off of sales tax, and this was through collaboration, BCIC and GBEC. So that's another thing. Partnerships, building rapport, building relationships are extremely important when you're in office, because that's how you become successful. You have a penny, I have a penny. How can we collaborate and utilize this to accomplish something that's going to improve the quality of life in the constituency base?
So the giving circle in a very big way. That is amazing, because a lot of us can do very little with 100,000, but many of us can do a lot with a couple of millions. And if you got 100,000, you got 100,000, what can we do with this? What can we do with this? Yes, you know, whatever, we can use it like for our own thing, and it's a little piece, yes, but where is it that we're all coming? The airport's a great place to start. So congratulations. Bueno, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want you to speak to the audience. What would you tell young ladies like yourself who are maybe considering, thought about running for office? What would you tell them?
That's a wonderful question. And I will put myself in the position that when I first started to contemplate to run, I was afraid. I was scared. I was like, what does this mean? You're really putting yourself out there. Success is not a guarantee either, right? Failure is still an option. And so something that I would tell myself 3 years ago is that, you know what? Believe in yourself. And secondly, you got this. Like, there are so many people who are willing to help you, that are willing to believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself first. So believe in yourself first, and the people will come. And so I would tell you that in my campaign, I ended up announcing, and where I thought, am I gonna get support? Am I gonna get help? You know what? I ended up getting amazing individuals that ended up being a part of my campaign and helped me win. Also, if you're a Latina and you're married, make sure your husband's supportive. That's most important. Is your family being supportive? My husband, he worked that campaign as if his name was on the ballot. He was like, he was so, and every time I had a self-doubt, he was like, no, you lift yourself up, you got this, you know? And so you just gotta keep on going. So if it's something within your heart, because that's the thing for me, I really felt like it was a calling. Like after we had that conversation, it just kept in my mind, it was in my heart, and it was something that I could not shake off. I talked to my husband about it, you know, he was all in. I said, okay, we're gonna do this. So we went ahead and started the process, and like I mentioned, we had individuals coming in to support and help, and you know, we were a camp of, I would say that we had consistent people. 4 people. It was myself, my husband, like 2 friends. And a small group is a very mighty group. So just believe in yourself and just do it.
I do want to parting words for the entire audience. Just parting words. What would you, and thank you. Congratulations and well deserved. But I would love some parting words for the audience.
So first off, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I love how creative you are. This was something completely different. I've done a podcast in a park. I've done a podcast at a studio, and now I'm doing it here in a van. So it's, you never know. I mean, just from yesterday to today, I had my calendar booked up. I wanted to ensure that I was able to gift you some time. And for you, I'm so grateful you gifted me this time to have this experience. It's a wonderful experience to be able to talk to someone about, hey, this is what we've been through, but we have overcome. It's very empowering, and who knows, sometimes a shared experience can influence somebody else. And so just some parting words is be a part of the community. It's very healthy in regards to when you feel connected to somebody and being a part of the community. I do believe that it does reduce anxiety and depression, because you're able to exchange ideas with somebody, you're able to connect with somebody. There are so many different groups within our community that need help, that need volunteerism. If you're ever bored, you know, follow one of the Facebook pages such as BARK. The animal shelter is always looking for individuals to volunteer. We have the City of Brownsville Parks and Rec Department. We have 46 different parks, and we have hundreds of events. In fact, we have an event today at 5 o'clock at Charlie Cabler, which is in my district. We'll be going out there. So every day there's so many events. And please be a part of politics. As I mentioned, a lot of us can get frustrated, but know that advocacy and being involved goes a very long way. So if you want better roads, if you want drainage improvements, if you want more sidewalks, if there's parks that you believe should be around your area, which is something that I'm working very hard in my district to improve quality of life. But if you feel this great sense of like, hey, these are some improvements, talk to your representatives. That is why we're here. So nonetheless, my name is Linda Macias, proud city commissioner representing District 2 in Brownsville, Texas, and thank you so much for having me.
Muchas gracias. Yes, because a civic duty is not only a personal duty, but it's a community duty. Bueno, go, go. Bye. And here, I'm here with the sweet Winter. Winter, tell me your full name and what do you do? Are you in, okay, tell me your full name. Who are you? What do you do?
I do track, I run, I go to Los Fresnos High School, and my full name is Winter Satine Monster.
Cool. Okay, what grade are you in?
10.
10th grade. What are you gonna, okay, do you have a plan? Like after school, what do you plan to do?
After school?
Well, after school, like after you graduate high school.
Oh, I plan to go into being a kids therapist or maybe psychology. I'm not sure yet, but that's what I'm interested in.
Okay, and why that?
Because I just feel like I want to understand kids and like understand like why they do things, and like especially psychology, like I just want to know like why they do things, like just like serial killers, like why.
Yeah. So your interest is in the psychology of young kids. Why young kids and not like adults?
Young kids, because I just want to learn how like where everything's going on and like why they do it. Like,
there's a lot going on.
When you're a kid, like you just do things and like you don't have like more of like acknowledgement of what you're doing. So whatever you see at home is like whatever you're gonna show at school or different places. I just want to know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you feel? How do you feel is going to make a difference to understand what they do and why they do what they do?
What's gonna make a difference?
Yeah.
Probably like being understanding and maybe put them in the right environment.
Okay.
Because it's also a law on parents, and I just think it's very like any little thing that they do, like they hit their kids a lot. It impacts them a lot.
Yeah. Something being able to be or treating each other right? Like school and school bullying. What do you? Okay, as you grew up, you're from the area. As you grew up in the area and everything that's going on today, do you feel like kids who are younger have it harder than you did when you were like their age? Like kids, young kids, like maybe 10 years old, 9, 8 years old.
So like you're talking about now, right?
Yeah.
I think now because they probably have a lot more trouble focusing at school because of phones.
Yeah.
And because I feel like parents right now, I feel like they should really like restrict on what they see and restrict like the times they should be on the phone. It also hurts their eyes, like the blue light. When they get older, their eyes are gonna be like not as how like they're supposed to be.
Yeah. So when you talk about like do you feel like the difference it makes of being addicted to a phone, or do you feel like it had an impact on you and that's why you know it's definitely going to have an impact on you?
Yeah, when I was little, I didn't really have any restrictions on the internet or any of that stuff, and I would just use it like nothing. I would just be on my phone all the time. And I just think like maybe when I have kids, I don't want them to be on their phone or any of that stuff. I don't want to buy them a phone anytime soon or iPad or electronics at all.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask you this and leave some parting words. What advice would you give for young girls just like Winter who are in the same situations and who also are looking to get into psychology? What words of encouragement would you give them?
I would give them to make sure to follow your dreams. Don't let anyone like put you down at all, and just go what you want to do. Just make sure get done your schoolwork, have your grades right. Just keep going for what you want to do. Like just get if you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. So when you're like uncomfortable, like you don't know what you want to do, like you're struggling, but once you get into like you're out of your comfort zone, you'll get more comfortable into what you want to do.
That's amazing. I love that. You have to be uncomfortable to get comfortable. Or you are wise beyond your years. Thank you so much, Winter. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.